Hello YouTube, this is my channel, Dark Vanguard Ren. I'm Medicine Waltz. I'm here to bring you another deck profile, this time for my Narukami. If you have any suggestions for how I can make a Kai deck from the current series on YouTube for Vanguard, I like your suggestions, and if you could at least tell me where I could get the cards in order to do this, that would also help in the comments below. So without further ado, let's get started. My let's start with starters is Wish Granting Genie. If you have any other suggestions for cards, I love it. Wish Granting Genie is basically you put him in the soul and draw one card. Well, of course, after you discard a card from your hand. 4,000 power, 10k shield. He's mainly there just to add some draw power. Next up is 4 copies of Malevolent Jinn. The other card was also Jinn, but this is Malevolent Jinn. Send to the soul, give 3,000 power, 10,000 shield, 4,000 attack, and is a critical trigger. So yeah, I do that. Next up is 4 Yellow Gem Carbuncle, 4 crit trigger. I run 8 crit, 4 stand, and 4 heal. I do want to replace my stands with draws. So if anyone from my locals, the specific CG realm, has any draw triggers for the narukami, I love 4 copies. But for now, yeah, Yellow Gem Carbuncle, 10,000 power, 10,000 shield, 5,000 power, critical trigger. Moving on. Dragon Dancer Catherine. I'm not good at pronouncing the name. I will hold one card up to the screen. I'm trying to get the glare. I don't know if you can see that. If you can, good for you. But yeah, I run 4 her. I will eventually replace her with draws, so I will do an updated video once I complete my 4. And then the original Narukami heal trigger. I think everybody knows what this card is, but just on the off chance that you don't, I will try. If you can read that, good for you. But yeah, that's my grade 0 lineup. Now for my grade 1 lineup. I do run 4 Sentinels, but the first Sentinel is an Eradicator Sentinel. Shit. Okay, that was weird. Eradicator, Wyvern Guard, Gould. Just take off the Eradicator, and you have the other 3. And yes, I'm starting to double sleeve all of my decks because, well, frankly, it's a smart idea. But yeah, so I do run 4 Sentinels. They're pretty much essentially the same card, just take off the word Eradicator. But they still work, so yeah. Next up is 2 copies of Photon Bomber Wyvern. And everyone knows what's happening with this, so I'm not going to explain that. Basically, he becomes a 10k booster as long as my opponent has 3 or more damage. So, yeah. I only run 2 copies because I found doing that gives me a better ratio for my grade 1s, or a more consistent thing. So, next up, and I like this lineup, is 3 copies of Daily Eradicator Ool. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. If I am, just say I am, and make a mini video of how to properly pronounce it, but I pronounce it Ool. Yeah, he is an Eradicator, but he doesn't need an Eradicator Vanguard in order for his skill to work. Actually, none of my Eradicators and some of the Eradicators that I have in his deck do. Ability, put him in the soul when you have a grade 3 or greater if you ride a grade 3 basically. put him in soul, and retire front row rear guard. That's what this guy does. And I read that without, and I looked at that without, and I said that without even looking at the damn card. Next up is Mighty Bolt Dragoon. This is, I don't have the card to summon him, which is card with any card with Vanquisher in its name, but I use it for the Stride. It's Stride effect, which basically this card becomes a grade 3 when I'm using it for Stride. So that's the only reason. And here's Conquering Eradicator. I'm not even gonna bother pronouncing the name because, well, I said it. If you can read the name, good for you. Basically, when a narukami, basically he can stop two cards from two grade 2s from intercepting. That's the basis of this card's ability. I only have, well, I guess because I have 6 cards with 6,000 power, and then the rest are, and then the other 7, because I run 13 grade 1s, 17 grade 0s, 12, basically the same thing I run for my other decks. So, but I want to keep this video as short as possible, so I'm going to continue on. I realize I cut myself off, but that's not a bad thing. Next is for my grade 2 lineup now is Hex Cannon Wyvern. Basically becomes 11k an 11k attacker when my opponent has 3 or more damage. That's why he's in here. His base power is 8,000. I run 4 of him because, well, he's a decent unit. I run another Wyvern card, another grade 2 Wyvern card. I'm not gonna bother pronouncing the name. If you can finally read that, good. Counterblast 1 when he's placed on Vanguard or Rear Guard. If you do, and you have an Narukami Vanguard, you can choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row and retire it, and then your opponent draws a card. It's in there for retiring purposes, and it's basically only in there until I can get another Heat Blade Dragoon, which is the next one. I run 3, but eventually I will run 4. Getting the hint now? If you couldn't before. This will be replaced by the final copy of this. So if anyone has another copy of this guy, I'd love it. So yeah. Next, which is the original, which is basically the card that helps unflip damage like in most decks, is Demonic Dragon Berserker Garuda. 9,000 power. Basically is your damage unflipper when it hits, as long as it hits the Vanguard. And it literally says hits the Vanguard. So, yeah, that's why he's in here. I will always put him in a Narukami deck. I don't care if it's an Eradicator deck, if it's the one from any of Kai's any deck that Kai has run that is an Eradicator, this card's going in it. Because it's decent. I'm gonna show you two of the Vanguards that I run. The first one I run is 3 of this guy. This is Demonic Kaiser Crimson. This is Demonic Kaiser Vermilion. I need 2 more copies of this and 1 more copies of this. Everybody should know what these cards do. The reason I showed you those 2 units first is because this is going to be another Crimson, and this is Plasma Bite Dragon, and then Thundering Bow Zahara will be replaced for 2 of these, 2 more of these. These 3 units are going to be replaced for the first 2 units I showed you. That's the only reason I'm showing you these 3 units last, because they're going to be replacements. That's the only reason they are in there. Mind you, I should probably talk about them a little bit. Basically, the grade 3 version of Garuda. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The original starter deck card for Narukami. Counterblast 1, gain 3,000 power. Vanguard or rearguard circle. Okay, everybody should know what this guy does. This card, basically Limit Breaker 4, the original good narukami Limit Breaker that I fear, in my opinion, can attack the entire front row and gains 2,000 power. Oh, and it loses 2,000 power if I don't have a narukami Vanguard, which in a pure narukami deck you're gonna have one. If you mix it, yeah, not a good idea. Okay. Legion mate. Guy who searches out mate. Goes up to 20. These two go up to 22,000. Soul Blast with this guy goes up to 24,000. During his limit break, which is basically this guy's limit break but without cost. I'm not kidding you. This guy basically says this guy's limit break is no longer a cost. Imagine this guy's limit break, I've already told you about it, being used together. If any of you have seen the subbed Cardfight Vanguard episode when Kai used this deck, you should know that that is pretty terrifying. So, yeah, that's why I used that. So... next is my grade 4 lineup. Two of the cards are only in here for the G assist, which is Avatar of Heroic Spirits Vishnu. I'm not even gonna bother explaining his ability because, well, frankly, he's only in here for G assist, so I'm not taking him that seriously. Next is Conquering Supreme Dragon, Conquest Dragon, Redundant. I'm sorry, I really hate redundant cards. I really hate names like that. The reason is, it's because, okay, Conquering Supreme Dragon, Conquest Dragon. Okay, it already has conquering in the name. A conquest is to conquer. You see how it's redundant? Conquest literally means you are going to go conquer something. Conquering is you have conquered something, or you are obtaining something through some sort of means. A conquest means you are going to go obtain something by some kind of mean. See why I say it's redundant? But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Next is one of my favorites before I get the Kai cards, which I will still use 4 of these guys because, well, their ability is fun and I will explain their ability, is Lightning Dragon Zoros. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right, but that's how I pronounce it. So again, leave in the comments, maybe a little video if you feel like it, but yeah. I'm going to read off his ability, just from one of them. And yes, I do use different colored sleeves for the grade 4s, that way it doesn't get confusing, except for the double sleeve stuff. That's fine, because once I turn it over, I go, oh yeah, it's in a red sleeve, just covered by a blue sleeve. Yeah. This actually protects, the double sleeving protects better than just single sleeving, and single sleeves can get damaged more easily if you don't double sleeve them. So that's why I double sleeve them. They're double sleeved. See? Double sleeved. Yeah. Obviously the stride thing, discard cards that equal grade 3 or greater. Put them in the drop zone, stride this guy. The ability. When this unit attack hits, I choose one of my opponent's rear guards and retire it. Then, I choose up to 2 cards in my opponent's drop zone and bind them face up. Now, I was confused about the ruling on this guy until I looked it up. This card does not say the binds go back to hand. I've looked up this ruling. The binds stay there. Let me repeat that. The binds stay in the bind zone. Where's my phone? There it is. Alright. I can actually prove that I'm right about this. Just gonna go somewhere. Give me a second. This is gonna be fun. Comments. Narukami. Grades. Grade 4. What did he do? Human. Oh, it's not, for some reason it's not showing. What the hell? Good 4. Human. Narukami. Okay. Well, apparently I'm having issues with an app on my phone that basically gives all the up-to-date ruling. But I am not wrong on this ruling. My app does actually say this ruling. Cards in the binding zone for this card do not go back to the hand. Which I was surprised at that. Yeah, I'm surprised at that, but what can you do? So yeah, that was my Narukami deck. If you can tell me what cards I need to build a Kai deck from the anime, I would appreciate it. And I will be doing 2 other decks by the time I've uploaded this video, and hopefully I can upload those other 2 videos. So yeah, yeah. If you have any suggestions on how I can make this deck better, I'd appreciate it. Eventually I will be doing my, once I complete this deck, my Gold Paladins. I'm only missing 9 cards from it. Well, sorry, 11 cards from it. 2 more of, Liberator of Hope Epona. Liberator Mark. The Liberator Mark. Hang on, let me get his card out. Halo Liberator Mark. 2 Liberator of... Hang on. Sorry about this. I'm just getting the 2 cards that I need. Oh. Sanctuary Liberator... Solitary Liberator, Ganzelot, and Liberator of the Round Table, Alfred. I need 3 more of this guy, 3 of the Grade 1 of Halo Liberator Mark, and 2 more Liberator of Hope Epona. I've already uploaded a previous one called my Grand Blue deck, so please go look at that. I'm starting to run along, but yeah, so my channel is Dark Vanguard Ren. I'm Edison Waltz, saying see ya and signing off.